brand new. We
She's really fun, she's really creative, and often pushes our student design potential. Some of the members from AIAS will be presenting is Indra Garal, our Vice President of the club. I'm the Secretary of AIAS Ventura College, and Janina Mancia is our Communications Director. We're really starting to gain momentum over the years. Like I've said, we participated in design competitions, we had field trips, speaker events, and also recently we organized our second annual open house event. So being part of this event will help gain recognition for our club and even the school as well. At the conference, we'll be able to meet other key leaders from local chapters that will help us better strengthen our club. Also, attending the conference, we'll be able to highlight our club activity to a wider audience. We can also strengthen our architecture program here in the future with more AIS-sponsored activities. And also in the future, we hope that Ventura College will also be the host of some of these quad conferences as well. As you can see here, we have the program of events taken from the official website. The entire conference spans from Thursday, April 14th to Sunday, April 17th. However, due to cost considerations, we have decided only to participate on Friday and Saturday because that's our heaviest concentration of events. Some of the key events we're hoping to attend is like the workshop, and there's also the Salk Institute and Neuroscience Tour. We have lecture series in New School and many other things going on those 2 days. Okay, last but not least, here's the proposed budget for our 2-day and 2-night trip. The registration fee per person is $55. Since there will be 5 of us going, it's a total of $275 allocated for registration only. And we also have 2 nights of lodging, which we estimated to be $90 per night. Melody will actually be staying with a friend, so there's no need to allocate funds for her lodging during this trip. Our members will provide for transportation and food ourselves. So the grand total we're requesting from ASVC will be $815 for the 2 nights and 2-day trip in San Diego. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Any questions?
Can you tell me the days of the trip again?
The days of the trip is Friday, April 15th to Saturday, April 16th. We're hoping to arrive in San Diego early Friday morning and probably early Sunday morning.
So 15th, 16th, and 17th?
The entire event goes from the 14th through the 17th. That's Thursday through Sunday. Thursday evening, afternoon starts, and Sunday late evening or afternoon. And in order to cut costs, we plan to attend the 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. And those will begin at 8 in the morning on Friday and end late Saturday night.
And the $815 is for how many people?
For 5.
5 people. And does that include an advisor?
Yes, Curtis Comain is our advisor.
So it's 4 students and the advisor?
Yes.
And so you're aware that after the presentation that it goes before budget and finance, after budget and finance, then we would vote on it next week, which is the 5th. Does anybody else have any questions?
Yes.
Kyla, then
You said that you guys are only going 2 days. How much more would it be if you guys went all 4 days? Are you guys considering
$1,000
possibly going all 4 days?
Yeah, probably 1,000. Because go ahead.
Well, it's possible that we field that out of our own pockets. The hotel that we're supposed to stay at for the event, that is along with the event, is $150 per night. And given the arrangements, with that arrangement and a total cost for the 5 people to go, the hotels and everything, it was over $2,000 to stay in that hotel. So we decided that we would make our own arrangements in separate hotels that cost less, as well as not stay that much, stay a full 4 days. It is possible that we could, as individuals, attend the total 4 days, but I don't think our entire group will be there for 4 days.
Yes.
Are you doing any fundraising for this? And first of all, are you asking for the full $815, or are you doing it?
Well, $815 was a minimized amount, so we were asking for the full amount. We did do fundraising for other events that the club is putting on, including the Design Village at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, which we voted as a club to dedicate funds that we already have, minimal funds that we already have, that we fundraised to that event. And we decided that both of the events are equally important, so that we would try to come to you guys for assistance.
does anybody have any other questions? Okay, Linda Okay, so we don't have VC Voices here today, so we're going to move on to this video for his report.
Just to touch on VC Voices real quick, it's something from the English department. Just at the end of the year, they collect student work and they publish it, and they encourage people to purchase it, just enjoy it. It's good stuff. So they'll hopefully be here next week, because we are looking for students that want to just help get the word out and talk about it. So anything that you might be interested in helping the English department to get the word out about that publication, we'll be ready to talk about it next week. A reminder, obviously, the resolution deadline is the 8th of April. However, I will not be here the 7th and the 8th. So if somebody needs my signature, it should be to me early on Wednesday. Yeah, if you're going to the NCSL conference, come see me in Pittsburgh.
Hey, thank you very much. Okay, so moving on to my report. On Friday, I went to the AIAS conference that ASVC endorsed and gave the money to for it to happen. And it was wonderful. It was an extraordinary group of dedicated architecture students displaying their work. And I really wish that a lot of you could have been there, but I did go to represent you. And it was just inspiring and enthusiastic to see this group of people do such a great job, and I'm very inspired by you all for doing that. The next thing I wanted to let you know is that the Hope and Freedom Week is this week, and it's out in the quad by Club Hope. So if you can go out and support that, that is a really great group of people. Also, there will be the Pre-Health Club today is going to be having speeches, and if you support that as well, that would be good. I wanted to let each of you know that the executive board did motion on Thursday for myself and Kyla Hernandez to represent all of you at the SSCCC, and we'll be going Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for that. And I'm I'm looking forward to representing Ventura College. Also, I wanted to let you know that Hands Across California, where we're at with Hands Across California. So when I first started with Hands Across California, I let each of you know that we're going to connect 1.4 million people across the state of California in an attempt to raise $100 million in scholarships. Well, perhaps when I gave that presentation, some of you might have thought, $100 million, there's no way. Some of you might have thought there was no way it was possible. Well, let me tell you where we're at. Right now, we are, 3 weeks away from the 17th of April, and we're at $60 million. This week, Ryan Seacrest and MC Hammer joined our team, and we still have the people that I've told you about before, Quincy Jones and everything. They're going to be out there on the day. I've received a lot of reports about media that is going to be involved, that are going to be here taking our picture and everything. I have visited with several clubs, and there has been a lack of participation in me coordinating the clubs together. So what we're going to do is we're still going to participate that day, but we're probably not going to have club booths on that day. Unless, of course, the psychology club and AIAS wants to have a booth or something, but the clubs that I have gone out and given presentations to are going to create their own Hands Across California. So what I'm going to do is continue with the team of Ventura College and continue to give you information as much as possible about the event. And when I presented to you, 3 weeks ago, we were at $0. Now we're at 60 million. We've got 40 million to go. So go Hands Across California. Okay, so moving on to our Vice President, Ms. Kyla Hernandez, for her report.
Hi everyone. I just want to say the East Campus Expo was really, really good. If you didn't go to it on Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Thursday.
It was Thursday.
On Thursday. It was really, really good. So yes, y'all say congratulations, sir. You did a really good job organizing. My other thing is I'm passing around a signage sheet of if you're interested in playing basketball against Moore Park or Oxnard College, you want to try to do something about playing a sport against them. So actually, Jerome probably has a nicer paper that he can hand around later. So if you guys are interested in playing a sport against them, Jerome's gonna have the same exact presentation, I think. That's it. Bye.
Thank you, Kyla. Okay, so moving on to Jerome Washington for his report.
No report, because Budget Finance is canceled. But I would like to make an announcement on that. Once you give your presentation, be sure that you fill out your paperwork and that you give some sort of amount, physical copy of what you're asking for. Because when Budget Finance takes a look and reviews it, we don't know what to go on. So be sure to do those two things. And that's it.
Okay, thank you, Jerome. Okay, moving on to Executive Secretary Beth Shepard for her report.
I don't have much to report. Good job to Sierra with the East Campus Expo. So I heard it was really good. And continue to support Hands Across America and whatever you're doing because it's good.
Thanks, Beth. Okay, so moving on to Trevor Zierhout for his report.
I have no report today.
Okay, moving on to Monse Ortega for her report. Hey, Monse.
I'm just looking for one other music act for entertainment for Saturday night, and that's just my report.
Okay, thank you, Monse. Moving on to Martha Olin for her report.
My report is
Okay, thank you, Martha. Okay, so moving on, Justin is absent today. He's not feeling well, but he did call in. Okay, so moving on to historian Amanda White for her report. Yay, Amanda.
I don't have much to report either, unfortunately. Gave a story this morning to some high school students, which was pretty cool. It was really funny. We gave it to Main Therese. We took a tour with freshmen, and it's really funny to see them now because you're just really not used to being around freshmen anymore. They were shocked that we don't have a bell for when someone's going to go to class. I mean, it was funny and it was fun.
on to Temi Chaparro for her report.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to let you know we met on March 24th, and some of the clubs that aren't here to give a report, I'm just going to go ahead and touch base on what they have going on. So our History and Pre-Law Club on April 7th is collaborating with MUN, and they're putting together a movie night that will be about nuclear proliferation. And they're also putting on a field trip to Santa Barbara. More info to come on that. And then the Sociology Club is going to be holding a body image event, and it has been postponed to April the 27th, and the time is from 9:30 to 1:30, and again at 4 p.m. And also the University Transfer Club is having an exhibit, and it will be at the Ventura County Museum of Arts, and it will be $2 and $4 for the whole museum, which is going to be on March 31st, not the Tuesday, and all the money will be going to the Sarah Frost program. And they're also working on a movie night, and more info to come on that. And then the VC Vets is going to be having a fundraiser. They're going to be at the swap meet on the April the 16th and the 17th, and the donations will be, the donations that were raised at the swap meet will be going back to their clubs and to the veterans organizations of their choice. And that's all I have to report. Well, actually, our next meeting will be April the 14th at 2:30. That's all I have.
Can I add something to it? The Holistic Club, I don't know if they told you, but we're having a booth at the swap meet this Saturday.
Yeah, they didn't tell me. No, we're not.
We're not?
Okay, never mind. Yeah, there was, the Holistic Club had no report.
Okay, thank you, Tammy, for her report. Okay, so moving on to Teresa Bloss for her report.
Hello. You weren't too fast. Were you doing anything?
Yeah, do I do that now or when we get to Okay, yeah, later.
Okay.
That's why we're moving on as quickly as possible so that the
I just
clubs
wanted to
have
point
an
out my
opportunity to
friend
report.
Julian. He was actually the one that approached me for that music event that I have been talking about. So hopefully that is on because we want to promote just their Ventura College. I don't know if you want to say anything.
Yeah, if you guys want to know what the whole message is behind it.
Just wait till everyone votes to add it to the agenda. Sorry, Julian, just as a protocol.
I'm just not sure about the protocol. I'm Nancy and the conference room.
Thanks, Julian.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Did you have anything else to report?
No, I thought you could do it a minute further. Sorry.
And, okay. All right, moving on. Thank you, Therese. Okay, so moving on to Tina Miller for her report.
East Campus Expo was really awesome. I got there a little bit late, but we had a lot of fun. Sierra and I went to Garmin afterwards, which was really cool. And looking forward to working more with stuff like that. Also, I've picked up the Student Voice, the current edition, and I have a Ventura Visit the Real California magazine here. So if you guys want to pick up the magazines and newspapers, they're out here for you guys. I don't really want to pass around because not everybody wants it, but if you guys want those, they're cool. This has like a bunch of stuff about hotel stays and all the shops and everything that are around. Talks about Ojai and Ventura and all that. It's really cool. Talks about all the events that are going on. And other than that, just working on campaigning.
Okay, thank you, Tina. Okay, moving on to Sierra Dor, who is excellent, extraordinary, and put on a wonderful event at East Campus. Sierra.
I'd just like to thank everybody who came to the expo. I know it's really small, but I think we had fun. ISPO Middle School came and really made it a fun event for us. So thank you to the Holistic Club, Hampton Park, California, AIAS making an effort to, and Kyla for coming out as well. Thank you so much for being there. And Rick. Thank you. The plans for the new location were on display there. Basically, we're going to be moving to the furniture store behind Kmart.
We're going to be moving to the furniture store and the next 2 suites on the side, so it'll be a bit bigger. We're going to get new furniture, and it'll be a better, more productive environment for our students. I attended the AIAS open house, and I really enjoyed it. I couldn't stay very long, but I really appreciate you guys having it.
Oh, thank you.
Also, Hands Across California, I arranged for a presentation at El Camino High School this Friday at about 8:30. If anybody can come and help me with that, that would be really wonderful.
Maybe someone from the events committee.
So also, I have extra folders and highlighters from the Campus Expo in the box on the table over there. So feel free to grab one on your way out, and hopefully I'll have some pictures from the event available so you can all see it as well. Soon.
Sierra, did you tell them how you wrote the article for the Breeze?
Oh yeah, I also wrote a press release about Hands Across California. I sent it to Sheldon at the Breeze. Just have to give him a follow-up call, and hopefully he'll stick it in there.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. Thank you. Okay, so moving on to our discussion action items. I would like to add an order of business to the agenda. I would like to motion or entertain a motion to add as a discussion item. Is it called the music event?
Yeah, the music show.
I'm entertaining a motion to add the music showcase to 6.7. Okay, Sierra, second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Oh, just a hand vote. All those opposed? All those that abstain? Okay, so carried. We're going to add 6.7 as a discussion item at the music showcase. Okay, moving on to 6.1, discussion of recycling. Does anyone have anything to say about recycling? The presentation last week?
Born, I think you did a very, very good job presenting information.
I would really like to see your idea actually happen. I really want to see it happen.
I just want to make sure you guys know it's not just my idea. This is something that the students and faculty have come up with.
Yeah, I've talked to just yesterday. Someone came from that has been on clubs before, and he's talked about how there's been so many clubs that for years they've been trying to get that passed. So I think it's great that it's finally brought to the table, and we could actually, make that happen now.
And I just want to clarify one thing, because I was sort of unsure of whether it was, whether it was clear at the last meeting after the presentation, but we have no paper-specific waste bin, and that is what we're going for. Not just any recycle bin, only paper will go into it. That's the difference between recycling and recycling paper. So.
And I talked to 2 biology teachers earlier today, and they explained to me the process, and basically if you actually go out there to the recycling, like if you've ever been to one where you recycle cans, you know how they put it on that, it goes like up, and if you can put cans, and sometimes like bottles fall in there, and they kind of grab the bottle out because the cans have to go in by themselves. Well, it's kind of the same thing when you throw in a bunch of trash, bags of trash. Even though, like, let's say where I work in math and science, even though I put everything that's paper into its own bag, once you're out there in the huge dumpster, there's one person out there watching everything. So if you have 10 of those bags, they might actually only take out 1. And so the biology teachers have actually gone out there and seen what happened firsthand. I mean, we haven't, unless you have. And so that's why I feel very strongly that we definitely need to do something about, the earth and recycling and not killing our trees.
I just wanted to add some last thing that I know that we have tests and plans to recycle everything that's in them, but if paper is wet, it can't be recycled, so there's really no point if we recycle pieces the ones we have right now.
attend that. And from last week, it wouldn't meet as in Canada like that. I'll tell you.
I think it probably makes their job easier in that they don't have to like sort things out and it's already kind of sorted for them.
It's been added to this class.
The last thing I'd like to say, if that's okay, there has also been, and I'm excited that it was brought to my attention, but the EOPS office has, brought to the attention that this is something that the district should eventually get involved into. So beyond this project, the goal is to eventually take it to the district and hopefully get this implemented on all 3 campuses, and furthermore, start the process of actually getting recycled paper purchased, and possibly energy savings plan. Just get the campus rolling in a green direction. I think this is the first step, and if we vote this in, it really shows the district that we as students are very serious about this. And I can go to them and give a presentation and say, we are so serious about it that we are actually paying for something that you should be paying for. I think that sends a very strong message, and I just want you to know that I'm going to continue that fight next year after this is done. All right?
So have you thought about going to the Board of Trustees meeting and perhaps
That's what I was talking
I
about.
attend the Board of Trustees meeting, or Trevor does, and if you want, we can speak on your behalf.
Oh, that's where I'm going to be giving a presentation.
You're on the agenda for
No, I'm going to work on going to the district meeting and having that as a presentation that I can give at the district meeting.
And if you like, we could voice that at the next meeting.
Yeah, well, we can talk about that another time. I just want you guys to know that there will be follow-up, that this project isn't going to occur and then that's it. There will be more, hopefully, to come after this.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Beyond and Recycling. Does anyone have anything else to discuss for recycling? Okay, moving on to the Senator's night discussion.
Do we not vote on it?
Wait, yeah, we're supposed
It
to
cannot be
vote.
voted.
It's
It
an
cannot
action
be
discussion.
voted on because it has not gone before Budget and Finance. So it must, the proper procedure is that it must go before Budget and Finance before it can be voted on. However, it will go before Budget and Finance, given that the Budget and Finance Committee can meet before next Tuesday, and then it will be voted on next Tuesday. But as you can see, I did list it as an action discussion item because I believed it was going to go before the Budget and Finance last Friday.
Why was it canceled?
It didn't make call in.
Hmm?
There wasn't enough people at the meeting.
Yeah, you can.
Well, it's not really an emergency.
According to the Brown Act, and I'm going to refer to Rick Trevino to give you the proper procedure according to the Brown Act.
According to Brian, an emergency indicates that there's an emergency, earthquake, a fire, something like that. And a student government wouldn't even have those needs. And if an earthquake or something happens, we wouldn't need to convene to do something.
There doesn't have to be an emergency meeting in our bylaws. It says that it could be called whenever necessary. It doesn't have to.
And there can be a meeting called within 3 days, and given that Rick will not be available on Friday, Friday's 3 days from today, so it could be called by Jerome Washington on Monday, so a meeting could happen before Tuesday, and it will be voted on next Tuesday.
How many people have to be in attendance at a meeting for it to be, for it to happen?
Again, I'm going to refer to Rick to answer that
6
question.
members, the committee is the meeting.
Okay, and how many showed up? 3.
Three.
Okay, and is anybody being held accountable for not showing?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, two of them next to the prior.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one, I can't speak for it. So,
Right.
I mean, it's up to them.
Yeah, well, I'm just wondering if from this end they're being held accountable, because I know you can't really, you can't put an ankle bracelet on them, but you can
Yeah,
still
I
hold
mean-
them accountable.
Yeah.
Because I don't think this is right.
Well, something that I will mention is that we would have made quorum. I was on my way there. I wasn't there, but I was on my way there. But my daughter was on campus because she's on my campaign for trustee. And a young man here at the college attempted suicide at the LRC in front of her. So I went directly to her. And my family does receive any business that happens for the budget and finance or this board. So given that that's the reason that we didn't make quorum, there were 5 police officers, ambulances, and firefighters on campus. And I think that that does supersede the business that we were doing. So that's why we didn't make quorum.
Okay, so it wasn't halted and then continued after that even if we're...
So I'm sure there will be a meeting before next Tuesday.
I sure hope so.
Okay, so with that,
I just want to add something too.
That means
So I talked to Barbara Coker.
is this for recycling?
No. Well, kind of, yeah. Well, they're having.
Probably,
Just let us speak a little bit.
Yeah,
Also
it's-
add something to the
if it's
discussion.
not for recycling, but if it's for Senators Night.
It's for Senators Night.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to.
Or are we talking?
Tammy still has something for recycling.
Like, I'd be willing to meet today. Is there any way we can meet today so that we could?
Right after this meeting, I have to go to work, but, and there's a rule that Rick brought to my attention today that it has to be 3 days in advance. So there has to be 3 days notice. So 3 days notice is Friday. Friday, Rick won't be here. So 3 days, the next possible time is Monday. And so perhaps after this meeting, members of the Budget and Finance can meet together to see if we can have a meeting on Monday.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Does anybody else have anything about recycling? Okay, so moving on to Senators Night and the Senators Night discussion.
I'm gonna pass around some sheets.
Yeah.
While she's doing that, so I talked to Barbara Porter, and they're having their like annual campus cleanup ring. So on the same day that we plan Senators Night, so we're working together now, and we're gonna be a part of that too. Like we're gonna try to run those things. And yeah, here's the flyer, and if you grab bags, they'll give you a bag, and if you go around and start, you know, cleaning up the campus and putting things in the bag, and you take the bag back to us, then you'll get a free lunch. So that's really cool. That we're like as ASVC we're joining like, you know, staff and stuff here on campus.
So that's still being passed around, but I just wrote down a couple of things for the under activities. We have a line set for the entertainment. We have information on club involvement, and I know there was 2 Christians from the executive meeting that wanted to be active, so I'll put those on, those down there. So if you have anything else to add to that.
Does anybody have any questions or any comments regarding Edgar?
Just a quick question. When you say club involvement, they get $50 for the ones who first come first serve,
I mean,
right?
it'd be first come first
Yeah.
served, but because the budget and
Yeah,
finance
yeah,
committee didn't
yeah.
have them, we're not too sure on that. But
It-
if that is, they would be on the first come first served.
Yeah, about, say some clubs are able to get their booth and be under the $50. What happens to the money that's left over?
And then we would have to go back to the
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because the money's so you could have a booth to contribute to the event, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if that money's not like.
Yeah, I mean, some people know how to get things cheaper, that's why.
Right? Yes, Tina?
It says all money made will be collected and saved up for charity. What charity?
Well, whoever makes the most money on the club, they would choose charity to choose from.
Yeah.
That's
So
how
like
it's set
this-
up.
I'm a little confused. Is that meaning the money you guys make or
The money-
The whole money earned in the event is gonna go to,
I thought it was supposed to go back to the scholarship.
no,
No, we never said that.
we never said that. But, yeah, well, if the club wants to
Okay, so
throw it to
that's Tammy
the
Van Jerome.
scholarship fund.
In previous meetings, did you guys say something about donating money to the March of Dimes or that?
Well, yeah, that's like the thing, the March of Dimes is like what we're using to like, make the money. You know, it's like, Rick, March of Dimes.
And
It's
they
like-
give you funds to make more money, or how are you
Well, like,
using it?
it's, the March and Dimes is like what we're doing also in the event. It's not really another thing that's giving us money. It's just like the game it's called. You know?
Oh, it's a game. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you explain what the game is?
So, Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna, so because Tina has a question about Beth, what Beth said, we're gonna go to Tina, then to Tammy, then Jerome, then anyone else who wants to be added. Okay, go Tina.
Or just if you explain what the game is, if I don't finish March.
Rick?
Rick's really not supposed to speak in the meeting,
I'll
and it's
clarify
yours.
from last week. Okay, I'll speak, okay, thank you.
You're out of order. so-
Last week, I mentioned that, you know, the idea where you put the tape in the ground and then everyone donates to whichever strip of tape that they choose to. That's the idea. Not the game per se, but the idea. That's kind of one thing, so. Referring back to me.
So then I'll.
Merchandise actually.
It's an actual, yeah, it's not. Yeah.
That's
I
what
was-
I was.
So
Yeah,
the
no,
money
it's
will
not
go to
actual
March of Dimes.
No.
It's just the idea.
Yeah, we're using the same idea March and Dice uses, but we're not really.
Are you calling it March of Dimes?
Yeah. Well, no, we're not calling the event March and Dice, but I don't know. I thought that was the, like when Rick explained to me, I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was the game. You know. I didn't know all the March and Dice went back to like premature baby.
So yeah,
Thinking of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, that's the whole time I thought you guys were doing the March of Dimes.
So the March of Dimes is, has a game. And you're going to.
For fundraising.
Yeah, March Dimes is a charity.
Yeah, the thing.
And
The
so the
idea, the
charity.
activity that she's discussing, that she wants to do is where we put strips of tape and you can call it a thermometer, I don't care what you call it, but people donate on whatever piece of tape they want. And the levels go up and whoever collects the most.
Yeah, so like as the whatever booth is making like money, they could go and add it to their tape thing, and you know that just rises.
So the money that would be, so you're on the list. So the money, if I understand it, the money that you want ASVC to donate to clubs is going to go towards this game to create money for an undesignated charity.
Yeah.
Okay, so next is Beth. Okay, so then there was Tina, now Tammy. Jerome, you're next.
I just had a question about the $50 that will be given to the clubs. How will you guys keep track of the funds that are being raised by the clubs?
So they're gonna have pretty much like a cash box and all the money that goes in that goes to the club.
So you have them raise money based on what they say that they raise.
Well, they're gonna have a cash box, so whatever activity you have planned, whatever, how much they're gonna charge for, is gonna go into that cash box. So it's not going to, chipping in the money.
I think I trust people enough to like, I'm not
Good.
sure they can steal the money.
Well,
Yeah.
I thought maybe it would be better, just a suggestion, if you were to have people who want to participate in games, have them buy a ticket for that certain amount, and then issue those tickets to each of the groups. So it'd be easier to keep track of them.
That's a good idea. But then I don't know how them put all the like the money in like the tape though.
No, well, because the ticket will
I get it. You
represent.
know, like the fairground.
Yeah,
They take
exactly
it
like the
and the
fairground.
ticket goes to the activity. I get that.
Well, the tape thing you can make for one other event. You can make that towards like the scholarship fund or whatever that we're creating. You can make just something.
And it can be for anything. It can be for any charity.
We could just, so we know before, so that when people that attend Senators Night know what the money's being contributed to.
It would be for a charity.
Well, you designate the charity before, so say, if I went to a fair ground and they had bungee jumping and it said bungee jumping for cancer research, I would, I might think, well, okay, so that's something that I would participate in. So,
There's two ways you can do it. The club that raises the most money, which is a charity, but if you want to do it that way, I mean.
also the club that raises the most money will choose the charity.
Well,
at
like
the
when they
end.
come to us for asking for like to be part of it and for the $50, we expect for them to have the charity chosen already.
So will the charity be a 501c3 or could it be a club?
A charity.
You know, it'll be probably like, it wouldn't be.
So it'll be a nonprofit organization.
Right.
Okay, so next is Trevor.
Alright. Now I see here listed under activities the Disney Princess Jolly Bouncer 3 in 1. What are the 3 in the 1?
It's like you go in and you crawl. That's the one part. The second part is the third part is like an obstacle and going out.
I was also wondering, have you guys thought at all about raising the prices? Because that seems extremely cheap.
Here's the thing, with this economy, shit should be cheap. Why are we gonna
Keep the prices low to keep demand high.
I mean, people are gonna get stressed with mental
I'm just saying if I'm going to get dumped, it should be worth more than 20 bucks.
Some prices you want,
50 cents wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Wow, people are getting wet. You're gonna be wet all day.
Hey, 50 cents to burn my clothes, right?
How much are
But that was my only question.
going to give her?
Okay,
Question for you
For
guys.
what? No.
Shows right there you guys are new to add. Myself, I'm performing.
Okay, I'm sorry, Julian, but I
Okay,
have
how
to
about
tell
your
you that you're out of
information?
order. You're out of order right now. I'm so sorry. There's a procedure and a protocol, and you have to be on the board. However, after the meeting, you could most definitely talk to them about it. So, Martha, you're out of order if you continue. Okay, so Shannon, you're next.
Sorry, I have a serious question.
It was Kyla, then Shannon.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. I'll go after you. Still.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I do have a serious. Alright, I guess I'm not really clear on what it is that Saturday night this specifically is, because it looks like you guys are asking for like close to $1,500, but to hold this event, but I'm not really sure what's going on now, or what the point of the event is. And I mean, it seems like it'd be fun, but are we gonna make more money than it's gonna cost to put on the whole event? And the charity thing, like the way it was presented to me last time was that the clubs were able to choose the charities, and whatever they collected went to that charity. Now it seems like we're competing against each other.
It's not really competition. It's just
No,
like
it is
whatever
competition.
Like
But
I
you
just
want to do that.
Yeah.
Fuel you guys to
Yeah.
raise more.
Yeah, but it's a
But
competition.
I mean,
Raising money for a charity that we really believe in is enough of a motivation for me at least, to go out there and try to get people to donate to a charity.
I
But
think it's
if,
just meant to be fun.
Yeah.
Because it's
yeah,
like
but
fun.
it's meant to be
to-
fun. But what's the point if we're spending $1,500 on something that's not just going to cost $1,500 and we're not going to make any money out of it?
Well, I sort of agree with that, because we do have to be fiscally responsible to the students, and there's many of you that have voted against some really wonderful things that have been happening on campus. And this is for a Princess Jolly Jumper. And, you know, we have to look at ASVC is allowed to spend a lot more money than the clubs, and we have asked clubs to be fiscally responsible this year. So because there's not, if there was an educational element attached to it, where we would somehow helping the students rather than jumping in a jumping castle, and that it's a princess jumping castle, I can see for myself as an adult reentry student that to me seems fiscally irresponsible.
Well, okay, well, I was gonna ask you a question.
Oh, if you want to ask me a question, but
Okay,
that's...
like I was just gonna say, I think fiscally responsible is like midterms and finals are coming up. Kids, like the students are gonna wanna like relieve their stress from all this homework, all this studying. So like the donation will make them have like pleasure in this and like enjoy it.
So have you thought about perhaps disabled students? What will their activity be that day? Reentry students?
Yeah.
Or have you thought of every aspect of the whole 15,000 students? And is a Jolly Jumper the best way to represent all 15,000?
Well, think of the majority. The majority is mostly out of high school, so
Mhm.
have fun.
Yeah, it's like the first time you get to like be a kid, like at our age, no one goes to like parties where there's jelly jumpers anymore, you know? And like, you know, everybody wants to, like, you know you want to jump in there, but it's like a little kid's party, you don't want to jump with 5-year-olds.
And it's a maze, so it's like you're having fun. Why not? Why take it down?
And then it's like, honestly, like, people don't really know how big like stress could really impact you, like how much stress really could be bad and stuff, and like, yeah, we're probably not going to make as much as you know, as we're gonna spend, but like if people wanna go jump, like bungee jump, like it's expensive, you know, so we should like, you know, if we could provide this to our to students who probably will never have the chance to, like, you know, that's really great, and it's, you know, it's going towards charity, and I think, like with all, like, I don't know.
Well, mostly I like mentioned stress and like if you look at like the top universities, sorry, I think that I was next. Oh, go ahead, Teresa. You are next.
Well, as a matter of fact, it was Shannon, Beth, and Tina, and I can put you on the list.
She was
Oh, Kyla, and then Kyla was after Shannon. So I'll put you on the list. Kyla.
I just have a few questions. I know that you said we discussed in our executive meeting about the rock wall. Are you still continuing to keep that for 2 hours for $1,137? Are you still wanting to do that as in?
Yeah,
as
because
in,
wait, the rock wall's not 1,100.
Yeah.
No,
it's not.
It's $599. It's added on to the price of the other thing. So if we were to pick the rock wall, it would be $1,199.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't you
And it's
say
for
in
2
the
hours.
executive meeting it was the rock wall, that the rock wall and the jolly jump are not bungee jumping?
Well, okay, the quad bungee jump is 4 just bungee jumps. Like there's 4 together. The rock wall has a bungee jump added to it, but it's just 1, I think. So it's 1 with the rock wall, and then the quad bungee jump is 4 bungee jumps at the same time.
So you did take out the bungee jump though. That's what's going to go before budget and finance without the bungee jump.
Well, I wanted to know what this board wanted, if they wanted the 4 bungee jumps or the rock wall with the bungee jump thing. Because the rock wall has its own bungee jump thing.
It was the one that's the $599 one.
Yeah.
Okay. And that has how many bungee jumps? 2 on it?
1. Yeah, it has 1 bungee jump on it.
Okay.
Are you going to charge it?
Well, the other 2
Is
questions.
there going to be a waiver for the school? There will have to be a
I mean,
waiver.
when you go to the flag, they have that. Are you really going to send a waiver over there? There's going to be people.
We are talking about Ventura College,
But
and
there's
it is
people
our
that are
job
going
to
to be doing
protect
the
the
rock
college
wall,
from
but
being
it's
sued.
people that from the company that are going to be there supervising and making sure that they have.
A waiver will have to be signed, so you'll have to create a waiver.
Okay, then we can do it.
And then,
It's not that hard.
I just have 2 more questions real quick. The dunk tank, how long is it for?
Huh?
How long is the dunk tank for? Like a whole day?
Yeah.
Okay, chill. And then the third one is, you said that the clubs are going to have an activity that's going to supposed to raise money.
Mhm.
Are you asking them to tell you what activity it is before they ask me $50? So that way you know if it is
Yeah.
profitable. What is the Model United Nations activity fee?
I don't know. They just announced that they wanted to be a part of it, so they're still working on it.
And they're the only club that told you they wanted to do it so far?
Well, because we haven't really been talking about it to clubs because it hasn't been approved. So
Right.
I don't want to
No.
get like clubs hooked up and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
You're on the list. Christina, when there was the Think event, you created a waiver just for the golf cart? Right?
Yeah, I did. I just created a waiver. I don't know, it wasn't that difficult. Just basically saying that the person riding the cart was fiscally responsible and just responsible for any damage, any harm that happened to the cart, other persons themselves, and any of Ventura College and its affiliates would not be responsible for their actions.
Okay, wonderful. So something such as that would
Yeah.
be great. You're on the list. Okay, so Shannon, were you finished with your comment?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So next is Beth.
I think this is a great idea, but just in lieu of being fiscally responsible, I think that the rock wall, it includes bungees, one bungee. 4 bungees might be excessive. You want to think of, are there actually going to be people in line enough to be on 4 bungees the whole time we bring it out? So just keep in perspective how many people you're going to have actually at this event.
So you
and
would-
might want to minimize, not take away, but minimize some of the things you do to save more money. And if you said you're not going to, you might not make as much money as you're spending, that is not fiscally responsible. So if you're not going to make as much money as you're spending, you definitely do want to minimize the cost so you don't lose as much money.
Well, this is not for we're not trying to make this for profit for ourselves.
Oh
We're
no,
trying
it's
to
for
make
a
this-
charity, but you
yeah.
do want to make a profit. You don't want to do something
just because.
Or they have to do it actually
Yeah.
in their bylaws. They have to do centers night, but they're doing it as a profit.
Well, I
to
think in the
create-
bylaws, does it not state that the senators night happens in the first few weeks of the semester or something?
Yeah, but we had, I talked to her before I even started, this school year, and we talked about, oh, it's what if I can't do this and stuff, and he had said, he has it planned and stuff, it'd be okay, so.
I think that the point that Beth had made is very valid for the many community college students who are struggling to pay for their fees right now. And so as they're struggling to pay for their fees, looking at something that encompasses incorporating the entire campus. And while this seems like a very fun event, I'm with Beth on let's keep the amount as low as possible, because they're, in percentage-wise, how many people are you expecting at the event?
How many people there is on school?
So you're expecting 15,000 people to attend? Well, I'm thinking that that might be a little unrealistic, that all 15,000 people will show up. And I am with Beth on that. If you have more than one bungee jumping, it's probably not fiscally responsible and doesn't encompass the entire demographic of the school.
Yeah, we don't have to do the quad, we could do the rock wall. That's why there's
You
that
took out
option.
the bungee thing. It's not in there right now.
Well, the rock wall,
The rock wall has one on it.
Yeah, so it's that's why it's.
I'm just saying it's different from the last time you presented it, because there was something that you took it out and it's not on there.
So the bungee jumping isn't on there?
It's included with the rock wall, but
Yeah.
the last time she presented it, there was an included, completely separate one, but you took that one out.
Yeah, and if you have the bungee jumping thing, you might not need the Disney Princess Spring one down.
Well, I would want to go on. I would. I mean, I think more people would most likely go on that.
I mean, if the students paying their money to us, right, so might as well reward them with their hard work and give
Well, I
them
believe
some
that
fun.
the students of Ventura College pay into a fund, but they're not paying ASVC directly. And that money goes into a fund to put on events and to for presentations such as AIAS or this recycling program. It encompasses many things. So, well, I hear what you're saying, and I agree there should be a senators night. I think that it's a very valid point that if there is a rock wall and bungee jumping, perhaps having a jolly jumper at the same time, it might be more fiscally responsible to do more with less. Perhaps you could have, if it's a type of a carnival, there's many things that you could do that's fiscally responsible that would be for free. You could get water balloons and throw them at people. You could have a three-legged race. It sounds like it's sort of a carnival, so you could do things of that nature. So
the class, we're not.
let's keep it responsible and attempt to incorporate the entire demographic of students. Let's make sure that there's something that is accessible to disabled students that are in wheelchairs. Let's make sure that reentry students are included. And okay, so with that, next is Tina.
Okay, sorry, I thought you were ending.
No.
I have a couple of questions. One is, like, the Disney Princess Jolly Bouncer. I think that was fun as kids, and those kind of things are specific for kids. Have you checked if there's a weight limit on that? And if there is, what is that exact weight limit? Because I know most of them.
A weight limit?
Yeah, a weight limit.
Like maximum capacity.
No, not maximum capacity, but there's certain weight limits and certain limitations on the jolly jumping type thing, as far as what people can wear and how long they can be in there and like what. Because I mean, if you're gonna have a bunch of adults,
Yeah, I already talked to them, they asked where the event was gonna be at Ventura College, so they know it's students. If there was a big problem, they probably would have told me right there.
Okay, I'm just asking if you could clarify that it's gonna be adults and not children that are in this, because I know several people that do jolly jumping stuff, and adults normally do not enter into those jolly jumpers. It's usually young kids and teens. Second question was on safety of the rock wall.
And Teresa has a question for you. Is that right?
Kind of. It's like to answer her question about the weight limit thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll let her finish. Yeah.
And then,
And then the money that's collected and saved is for charity. I think as one of the clubs that would be being represented there, I think that if we designate our own charities, like say, Holistic Club picks one charity, GSA picks another charity, Psychology Club picks another charity, I think they should all be listed what charities their money's going to and not some kind of a competition where all the money just goes to one charity. I think it would be a bigger, better idea to have, my money goes to this charity, and this way people can choose what charity they want to support.
So whatever
So
club
the
has
amendments that you're
charity that you
making,
want.
Martha, the amendments that you're making, I hear you saying a lot to all the different ideas. Yes, we can do that. Yes, we can do that. So that's awesome that we're going to be able to do that. But you would have to amend that when you put it before budget and finance. So we're not confused as to, because you're saying, yes, we can change that. And yes, the money will go towards this or that. So when budget and finance meets, so that it's not confusing to the group of what the money is being allocated for, if you could re-give the paperwork to Jerome, who will then give it to every member of the budget and finance. Excellent. Okay, so next on the list was Therese.
I was going to answer her
Edgar,
question.
then Therese, then beyond.
I'm just answering her question real quick, Tina, about the whole weight limit thing. Most companies, when you get something from them, they post it, like the Jolly Jumper, I know, they post it on the side of it. It's already built, made into the actual Jolly Jumper about the weight limits and no shoes, no pointing objects, all that stuff. And plus, when you actually get the actual Jolly Jumper, they tell you it beforehand with a printed out sheet most of the time. And I think that you guys will get that.
Yeah.
So it'll tell you specifically weight, size, all that stuff will come with it. It's actually, I think it's a state law. They have to give that to you.
You know, it is the I was asking,
Yeah.
have they checked into what those regulations are? That was my question, not are there going to be regulations provided? It's have you checked into it to make sure that college students would be appropriate for this kind of counselor?
Or perhaps if you have someone working or volunteering, knowing that how many people can be in there.
I said the employees are going to be there.
Yeah.
The employees are going to be there.
So, and they know all the
Get
rules.
paid to put people in and out.
Yeah, they're getting paid with, and it's part of the fee that, yeah, it's part, like, that's the whole package.
So
It's
should
not,
be all
they're
covered.
not paying extra over, like, what.
So the fee is not for them to set up, because I rent a Jolly Jumper such as this every year for my children on their birthday, every year. And the fee includes them coming to the house, setting it up, having the Jolly Jumper, leaving, coming back, getting the Jolly Jumper. But I would have to stand there, or my husband or someone in the family would have to stand there and say, okay kids, there's too many kids, you're getting too wild in there, you have to go out, you have to. So I'm thinking you probably need someone to stand there, having people put them on and off, and isn't it gonna cost money to go on the Jolly
It would be a
Jumper?
different company, I don't know which one to go for, but most of the talks are going to be, so we should be fine with that.
So there will be someone from the company,
From the company only for the doc, no.
and so
for
is
the
that who
doc
will
pay.
buy our ticket from? So if I wanna go on the Jolly Jumper and I'm gonna pay 25 cents, who would I be paying that 25 cents from and getting the ticket from?
Well, if we do a ticket, probably be just one person, it'd be like, oh, different person. And it could be me, like, I don't, yeah, like my schedule is set up, right? And then-
Teresa, you're on the list.
So, yeah, that could just be me.
And so so how many things, there's the Jolly Jumper, then there's the 4 bungee jumps, and then there's a rock wall.
Well, it's either rock, okay, can we either decide on the rock wall or the bungee jumps right now?
Rock wall.
Rock
wall?
Raise your hand if you want a rock.
Wait, I have a question. So the rock, just to clarify one more time, the rock wall includes the bungee or is it just the rock wall?
Yeah, the rock wall includes the bungee, but there's less bungee than the quad bungee.
Yeah, just
Yeah, okay, so.
Well, actually, it's called the rock wall with the monkey jump.
Well then.
With the monkeys jump.
You know what you should think about doing too is you have ASVC card, you should get a free for some other things, just to promote people that are wanting to get it.
We'll note that down.
So there's the rock wall with the monkey jump and the princess
bounce?
The Prince bouncing is there, right? But what I want to know from you guys is what would you guys like, the rock wall with the monkey jump or the quad jump? So, rock wall. Rock wall?
Monkey jump.
It's the same thing.
Okay, so next is Therese.
Teresa.
Therese, then beyond.
I know we've been talking about it.
Well, I was on the list. I never like to.
Yep, you're on the list. Therese is next. And so in the interest of time, it's Therese.
Having, like you said, like you should consider like re-entry and stuff like that. But I think it's silly to think that re-entry students wouldn't be interested in the stuff they're gonna offer. So I think we should like generalize like that. I think like it's great.
I'm not interested in being on a Jolly Jumper, and I think it's fiscally irresponsible, and I'm a re-entry student.
Okay, but that's just one person.
Majority of the re-entry students are had high school, and they would want to be in a Jolly Jumper.
So, like if you
Re-entry student.
Well,
is
anyway,
someone-
go for it. What I was saying.
You guys are out of order right now,
Let her
and
finish her question.
you're out of order right now, Martha. So I'd really appreciate if you didn't speak over the top of people. It's Therese, then Beth. Beth had something to say as well. Therese?
Once I mentioned stress, and a lot of universities, the administration and faculty provides, events like that, like they have little job panels and like games that students can participate in for free, because like they take care of it, and just doing stuff like that really gets rid of stress, and kids commit suicide over how stressed out they are with finals and stuff. So I think this kind of event at the end of the semester is good, and we're at a community college, and the faculty and administration is not going to provide this to our students, and like throughout the semester, when students have been proposed, we're always like, oh, we have the money, we have the money, we have the money. That's what I've been hearing from this board. Like when we were going to spend so much money on Washington, we're like, oh, we have the money. And people were like,
It's a separate account.
oh, okay.
It's a completely separate one.
But I think it's important that we're doing this for the students. We have the ability, and I think it's fun. So, yeah.
Okay, next is Beyond.
So I just wanted to say that this is a requirement by the bylaws that they have to do. I think it's interesting that none of, we're getting down to the wire here, and now everybody's voicing their concerns. If there was this much involvement to begin with, I believe that we could have potentially had a completely different Senators' Night that would have been geared towards everyone's interests. But you sort of have to also look at yourselves and say that, what have I done to sort of throw my concerns in there and sort of let them know that maybe maybe we want to make it a little bit more academic, maybe we want to appeal to re-entry students more. And the fact that the deadline to actually request funds is for the purpose of the ASVC board would be next Tuesday, and Budget and Finance Committee might not be able to meet before then. It's kind of cutting it to the wire, so I don't know how picky everyone is going to be able to be with this sort of pressure put on you at the last minute.
Okay, thank you for that. Teresa.
I would say for Teresa and another opportunity.
So how about we let Teresa talk and then you speak? Because you've spoken a lot. Okay, Teresa.
Well, one, I've rented a Jolly Jumper as well, and the way that they did it was basically, if you're an adult, only so many adults can be in it. It was a lot of fun. I got in it, I jumped in it, all my friends jumped in it. It's definitely a stress reliever, as Therese says. It's awesome, but regardless, the rock, the jumper, it doesn't matter. But just to have Senators' Night and to get the clubs involved, and like Tina said, for each club to be able to have their own booth, and like AGS would do Relay for Life, and you would contribute to the American Cancer Society. And in regards to volunteering on Monse, AGS Honor Society would be willing to volunteer and help you out.
Thank you.
So as much as you need in regards to this, so that it can be done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so next is Tina.
The entertainment act, I have a question on those, the rockabilly that's supposed to be in there. I'm not too sure what rockabilly is, but I do know the kind of atmosphere that was there last Senators' Night, and I know we we did have issues where we actually had to call the police and get them to escort the bands off the stage, and we had to kick 2 other bands off.
We only kicked off one band and the police was not.
There were a total of 3 bands that got kicked off stage.
So in this discussion, there's a lot of back talking to each other and addressing people directly and saying their names and things like that. So if you're going to give your opinion, then you give your opinion. I know, I understand that. So just so that there's not fighting within the interest of time, there's a lot to still get through on the agenda. So let's wrap this up. Okay, Tina.
So my question is, are we making sure that this is friendly to everybody? Because at the same time, I know there were several clubs that actually left Senator's Night last time, very upset and disturbed by the type of music that was being played at that event. So I'm curious, is this event going to be like the music event? Is that going to be a more friendly atmosphere than the last time?
This is not one of the bands who got, like, we had any problems with. Like, yeah, we're making sure that it's more friendlier music.
Okay, and so while you've got the floor,
okay, talk about what else. Okay, so about the money and stuff, yeah. Like Cherie said that there were, like, other colleges spend so much more on educating their students, and it's like the college who's doing it. It's not their AS, it's their, the faculty. So, I mean, what we're spending, yeah, it's a bit, but it's nothing compared to what UC spend on their students. So, I think that's good for us. And then we've had a budget since last semester that we've had, like, the budget we've had, it's even, like, under the amount that we're using. So, when you say, like, it's physically irresponsible, there's this budget that we have to use. So
I just feel like that's my personal opinion, just in these economic times. I think it's fiscally irresponsible to have jumping castles when there's so many students that cannot participate in something such as this. So moving on, Jerome, for his comment.
I was just going to add on to Tina's comment about the music. I kind of agree with Tina. Have you ever thought of a wider view of what people would like? Which is mix of hip-hop and rap.
Yeah, we're looking for that too. It's not like they're not just so one music as we're thinking about the video film and just having time to do that.
It's really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So next is Beth, and she's going to have her final comments on this.
Okay, for Senator's Night, I really hope it's successful, and aside from budget and everything, I think that I agree with Kathleen in the fact that going more physical, it's nice to have physical events and things you can do, but you might be better off doing things like games and things that everyone can participate in and have a good time with.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have like a Polynesian dancing thing. That's
no, I'm just
everyone
saying, like, for interactive purposes, don't just put all your eggs in one basket and do rock wall, jolly jump,
Well,
duck
then I think
tank.
we're also considering clubs are gonna have.
You want to diversify so that everyone can.
Yeah, I'm sure
Can you
everyone.
allow Beth to have her say without speaking over the topic?
Yeah, I was just saying, it'd be nice if I knew that at Senator's Night,
Excuse me, you are out of order. Both of you are out of order. You're speaking over someone who is speaking to you. And as senators and as representatives of the college, I believe that you should respect your colleague, that is Beth, who is speaking to you, and not speak over the top of her.
yeah, I'm speaking not to shoot you down, but because I want to see this pretty good event, like, and support you guys, and I want to see that this is beneficial to the college and the students. So I was just saying, as speaking for myself and maybe other students, that at this event, I would like to know that there's something that I can do without having to go take off my shoes and jump in a jolly jump or have to climb up a 12-foot wall or whatever it may be. Like, so make sure you have a variety of events, like maybe just games like, I don't know, the game where you throw a ball into boggles, and just, just things that everyone, the variety that you can choose from, not just physical things.
Thank you, Beth. I think clubs should take care of that. We're gonna have a Polynesian dancing circle, so that's something they can do. And then also we're like teaming up with them, so even if like the only thing you can do is go pick up trash, like it's part of the event, And
Well, thank you for that. Okay, so we're going to move on to Jerome and the LRC survey.
Okay, So I've been working with the LRC. Basically what we were doing in a couple of meetings, we were just discussing on to extend the hours of the library.
Martha, can you allow Jerome to give his presentation now? Because you're speaking at the same time. Jerome?
And due to the cutbacks, it would be really hard to actually extend all hours with keeping the same hours. So I was working with them to kind of allocate and change hours around, and they requested that we sort of do research. So I kind of formed a survey that I can pass out, but it won't be a formal survey, it would just be a survey so everyone could kind of tell me what to put on there to get it down with everyone else. Other than that, I encourage everyone to fill out the survey.
Do you want us to fill it out today?
Yeah, that's it right now. Put anything that you feel that should be changed or that you would like. But the actual goal, I told them, was to increase the hours where the library could be open a lot later, because there's a lot of students that are there. I don't know who's there late, but there's a lot of students that are there after hours. And as you know, the library closes at 9, so it forces a lot of students to go to either Barnes and Nobles or wherever else is open later. So the general idea is to get the hours that we don't use and spread them throughout the week.
That's really awesome. It would be really great if it could be open a little bit longer. So do you want us to fill that out right now, or do you want us to fill it out at the end and give it back to you? Is anyone opposed to filling it out right at the end of the meeting at 2 o'clock? Would that be all right? And then just giving it back to Jerome? Are you opposed to that?
Oh, no, I'm going to make a suggestion. You think we could, is this just for overall or just for finals week?
Well,
We need 3 or 4 more.
it was hard to actually get anything because they said that the cutbacks, funding, and getting a librarian that will come earlier and stay later. So then changing the hours, basically the first thing we have to figure out is what hours that students mostly don't go. So I suggested that we do it for the finals week or something like that, or before finals, like we just hurry up.
Monse, then beyond.
I'm looking at number 1, and I just don't really understand like why the last 2 are I use resources online and I'm not. Oh, okay.
So I believe it's just a survey that we're just going to fill out and just going to gather information from there.
It's just a survey. So it tells them like what.
There's like an online title on that search engine.
So beyond?
Yeah, I was just gonna say this is a really good idea, and as far as universities go and everything, I really like the way they usually have their library set up where they're open a lot on weekends. Something that I've thought about a lot, but I don't really know if it's possible. Maybe because you're working on this, you want to look into it. Is a lot of universities have a 24-hour study zone, and it's really cool.
They don't. Yeah, I don't think we can do that, and I don't think they do. But I did get the concept.
It's a good idea, though.
Yeah, it is. But I
mean, a lot of universities they have those words.
I did get the concept from universities, and I feel like even though we are a junior college, we should set our standards as a CSC or DC. And why not have our library open where it's more accessible to all the students? So, I did suggest that we should have Monday through Thursday or Friday open until 11 p.m.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. However, their concerns were that it's too late, it's dark, and they don't want students to be in the parking lot because it's dark. However, I think that should be our kind of choice.
Okay, so next is Teresa.
I think it's a really great idea. Is this something that has a deadline, and can we forward this on to other students?
It does not have a deadline, but my personal goal was to do it before finals so that way you can have results and maybe this could be permanent. So I would like to do it as soon as possible, and whoever would like to help me,
So maybe at 2 o'clock, what we can do is we can ask Jerome any more questions about the survey, and hopefully everyone will fill it out and hand it back to him at 2 o'clock. Okay, so next is movie night. Jerome.
Oh, hey. Movie night. It was another time I was in the library, bored, and I was like, hey, what can we do? I thought, why don't we do a movie night? That would be awesome.
What day of the week?
We can have it on within 2 to 3 weeks from now. But I put that on the agenda to kind of brainstorm on what everyone would like to have, what movies they would like to watch.
Will it cost anything?
Not at all.
Oh, excellent.
Do we have to watch it on the fireside, or can we do it like outside?
Uh,
Project it on the.
Rather have it
On a blanket.
fireside because it's cold.
In a blanket.
Okay.
Right?
The day we're supposed to warm up.
Well, I mean, it's whatever we vote on, I think that's cool. But I was thinking like, hey, everyone has to like show up in like pajamas and, we'll bring our own popcorn or whatever.
Okay, so Tina has a question, then Amanda.
Yeah, I was wondering whether there's items, action discussion items that maybe this is presented on. I thought they're supposed to go through a presentation first and then to the action discussion, correct?
This is movie night. All Jerome is asking for is if the group wants to do something fun together and have a movie night. So this is sort of his presentation, and then we're going to vote on whether or not it's something as a group we want to do. It's not something that, from what I understand, it's not, Jerome's not asking for any money. He's not, I don't believe that, are you inviting the entire student population? I think he's doing this for this group. Edgar, you're on the list.
Oh. Sorry. Is this for the school or for us?
It's for us, but I mean, the more the merrier.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Edgar. Are you done, Tina?
I was just saying, considering the way we make everybody else do their presentation, even though it's not asking for any money, I kind of still think it should have been done the same proper procedure like everything else. I might be totally off base here, but given that we make the clubs and everything else do the presentations the same way, I kind of feel like this is not.
Does everyone want to see a presentation by Jerome for
on the
a
agenda
movie
for
get-together?
He's had it on the agenda and we talked about it in the executive.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to? Okay, so thumbs up, thumbs up or thumbs down. Thumbs up if you think that Jerome should have to give a presentation for us to get together to watch a movie.
Well, I don't think you should have to, but I just want to see like what your ideas are, you know what I
Well,
mean?
like I said
Okay,
before.
so
before,
thumbs down if you think that he shouldn't do a presentation for movie night. Okay, so it looks like there's more thumbs down than thumbs up, so we'll have it the way it is.
But just to answer your question, I kind of did it more so that we could kind of get like a group involvement and brainstorm on what we want to watch and what we want to do. It wasn't more like, oh, this is what I'm doing, and you guys have to do it, and you come, whatever. It was more that,
So like you can decide what movie.
yeah, like something that we can all.
It's very similar the way that the MUN and the History Club are going to have a movie night.
Yeah.
So it's very much the same, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're on the list. Okay, so next is Teresa.
I haven't said anything yet. I was right after Tina.
Oh, I thought you did. Okay.
I just agree with Tina. We should be following procedure because, like, when David came in and all that, we're learning things. So I think we should to learn.
To clarify the procedure, it's only when it's spending money.
I still believe that we should because we're learning and experience.
That's what I'm telling you. That is the procedure. Because when people ask for money, it goes to finance and budget. It gets referred out. The procedure is not the same for somebody which we do not say spend money. We've done in the past when we want to support Hands Across California. You could vote and it's similar to that. It gets treated the same way. There is no requirement that it get sent out and referred to any other committee. The board can just make a decision because we're not spending any money.
Okay, so with that
Because it feels
voice
like
of
there's
reason-
special treatment, that's why. Because the clubs, even if they're not asking for money, they're just showing something that they're doing, they still have to bring a presentation. And so
So given that Rick is the advisor and he's given the accurate details as
I
the
just
paid
like to
employee
see it
of
as a
Ventura
thing.
College, we're going to move on from there because Rick answered your question.
No,
Okay,
what
so
I
with
wanted,
that, if it's okay, because Julian is here for waiting very patiently for the music show, what I'm going to do is entertain a motion for do I have to movie night? Yeah, can we just entertain a motion for the movie night? And, okay, so Sierra first it, does someone want to second it? Monse, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All those that abstain? Okay, so there's an ASVC endorsed movie night. Okay, so Jerome, may I ask you if 6.5, the discussion of Hero Day, could be next week?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And so I'm going to entertain a motion to move 6.5 to next week. Someone needs to first that. Someone has to second it. Jerome, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All those that abstain? We're going to move Hands Across California 6.6 to next week on the discussion item. I'm entertaining a motion to move 6.6.
I second.
Trevor moves 6.6 to a second. And does someone second that?
I second it.
Oh, Teresa Montoya seconds that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All those that abstain? Okay, so moving on to discussion 6.7.
So this is for the music showcase that I brought up last week, and it's for April 28th, which is a Thursday, and it's from 8 to 11, and Poinsettia Pavilion, which is right down on Foothill. It's really close, and it's like up on a hill, so we have a nice pretty view. And we have Julian, who has been waiting this whole meeting to say a couple of words. So he brought the idea to my attention last semester, and he said that we could wait till the end of the semester, kind of like to wrap up the semester with you, not wrap up the whole thing with just this event, but have it at the end. So.
Well, my main idea was there's all these musicians out campus and.
Can you defer the floor to Julian so that he can?
How do I do that? I like to defer the floor to Julian.
Well, thank you. I accept that. Whatever. Okay. Well, there's a lot of people. There's 15,000 students, and there's at least 200 musicians that I met on campus, and they're all talking. And many of them saying that they want to do this. And basically, I described a number of concepts we can do. We're trying to create something in an environment that people can go to, and they listen to music that has a message. And it's not like flower power or anything like that. And some people are going to say stuff like has to do with politics and recycling, something to have like a message in the music that's more than just playing music and being cool or something like that. And that's the biggest part of it. Expecting everybody involved. And if you had a song that you would like to sing or do that has to do with what you're trying to do, you're candidate for that one. It's about stuff like that. That's the goal behind it all. Besides just giving musicians that go here to be able to do their thing in front of their peers.
And that's wonderful. And let's thank Julian for being here. I'm going to entertain you to adjourn the meeting.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Someone second. I first. Kidding. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed?